Your petals may fall, you may will.
Greetings all you gorgeous garden gnomes. Welcome to Kawartha Backyard Farms. My name is Tom Ato. In this video I am going to be going over our top 10 crops that every beginner should be growing in their gardens in 2024. But first, please help us grow this channel by planting the like button, cultivating the subscribe button, and harvesting that bell. Kawartha Backyard Farms is a free community food security initiative that I started in 2021, helping people to grow food at home and share with each other. Your support of this channel will help to feed people in our community who need it. These 10 crops I have split up into 5 that are direct seeded into your garden and 5 that are started indoors and transplanted out into your garden. The first crop that every beginner should be growing in their garden are bush beans. There's few things better than going into your backyard and harvesting a bunch of beans to have for dinner. Bush beans are one of the easiest crops to grow. Directly seed them into your gardens with spacing of about 5 centimeters between each seed. But wait until after your last frost for your area, as bean seeds aren't big fans of cool soil temperatures. Beans come in a variety of colors, particularly green, yellow, or purple. And in less than 2 months, you'll be able to begin harvesting fresh bean pods right out of your backyard. The second crop that every beginner gardener should be growing in their garden this year are peas. A member of the legume family, peas are a cousin to beans and are super easy to grow. Like beans, they also come in many varieties. You can get a snap pea, a snow pea, or a potting pea. They even come in purple peas. Unlike beans, peas don't mind a little bit of chilly soil temperatures. So as soon as your soil is able to be worked, then you can plant peas into your garden. Both beans and peas work with the soil microbiology to bring nitrogen from the air and put it into the soil. It helps to feed the plants nitrogen, but the plants also feed the soil microbes sugars, creating a symbiotic relationship there. This means that peas and beans need less fertilizer than other crops like potatoes or corn would. Crop number 3 that every beginner gardener should be growing in their garden this year are radishes. One of the main benefits of growing radishes is their speed. From seed to harvest in typically under a month. When planting your radishes, create rows and plant each row every week. This way, you'll have a staggered harvest and continue to harvest throughout the season. Number 4 is a staple or a survival crop. These are potatoes. These are a must for every gardener to grow, purely for the density of energy that they will provide. But because of the low price of potatoes at grocery stores, I'm not recommending that beginner gardeners or any other gardeners grow russet potatoes or red skin potatoes or yellow skin potatoes. No, I am going to suggest that everybody start growing blue potatoes. Blue potatoes are one of the healthiest kinds of potatoes that you could eat, as they contain a lot of antioxidants. That's what gives them their blue color. The last directly seeded into the garden crop that every beginner should be growing in their 2024 garden are beets. You may be thinking that beets are an odd suggestion to make to beginners to grow in their garden, but I included these because you can harvest them at different stages and for different purposes. You can harvest beets early for the green leaves, which are delicious in a salad, or you can let them grow a little bit longer and develop a large root, and then harvest the whole plant, pulling up the root and roast the root or enjoy it with other root vegetables. From planting a seed to harvesting a full root, the time frame for beets to grow to maturity is also fairly similar to the time frame that it takes for beans to grow. So if you plant them at the same time in your garden, you're going to be harvesting them around the same time and contributing more to your dinner from your backyard. Beets, particularly the red beets, are also a healthy source of nitrates and nitrites, which help to open up our blood vessels. So they are a vasodilator. This is particularly important if you are someone that has high blood pressure, as beets can help to lower your blood pressure. Part 2 of this video are plants that would be best started indoors or bought from a garden center or nursery and transplanted into your garden. So the 6th crop that every beginner gardener should be growing are tomatoes. Tomatoes are probably the most diverse crop that we grow in our backyard farm. We've grown heirloom tomatoes, we've grown hybrid tomatoes, we've grown tomatoes for slicing, we've grown them for canning and making sauces. We've grown cherry tomatoes and grape tomatoes. There are even tomatoes that are bred to be lower in acid, if that is an issue for you. There are tomatoes that grow all season. These are indeterminate tomatoes and will need some sort of string or trellising for them to grow up. And there are tomatoes that will grow to a specific height and provide all their fruit mostly all at once. There might be a couple of flushes, but these are called determinate tomatoes because they grow to a predetermined height. Typically, determinate tomatoes are those like the Romas, which are great for making sauces and canning. There are also tomatoes that have been grown and bred to do better in pots and containers. There are even tomatoes that do really well growing indoors. If you look for it, there is a tomato that will fit whatever growing conditions you need. Number 7 on this list are peppers. Peppers pack a punch, especially the spicy ones. Whether you like the heat or you're a little bit more sweet, peppers are definitely a must for beginners to grow in their 2024 gardens. If you want to start peppers from seed, start them about 8 weeks before your last frost. So you're going to be starting these indoors underneath some grow lights if you have them, or in a south-facing window. Since peppers come from warmer climates, we really want to wait until after our last frost to transplant them out into the garden. For us, our last frost is May 16th, but we can still end up getting frosts up until the end of May. So generally speaking, the weekend of May 24th is when people start to really plant out their gardens here in Zone 5. Before you plant your peppers, make sure that you amend your soil with lots of compost and plant them somewhere where they're going to get a lot of sun. If you keep up with the weeding and watering, you are going to have a bountiful harvest of peppers. Number 8 on this list of crops that beginner gardeners should be growing in their 2024 gardens are lettuces. Lettuces don't really fit within one single category of direct seeding or transplanting, as it tends to depend on the variety and harvesting method that you choose to do. For instance, leaf lettuces will be directly sown into your garden, and you can harvest these a few times before needing to replant again. While on the other hand, a head lettuce, like a romaine or an iceberg, tends to do better if you start them in cells and then transplant them out once they've grown a little bit. One of my favorite lettuces to grow is a head style of lettuce, and it's called Little Gem Romaine. These are a smaller romaine lettuce, which are perfect for making personal sized meals, and they are a little bit sweeter, but they make a great Caesar salad. Number 9 are cucumbers. Whether you're growing your own pickles, growing for a salad, or growing to have a backyard garden spa day, cucumbers are a must to grow if your summer temperatures get really hot. Many consider cucumbers to be the summer crop. This is because they hold a lot of water, and in the middle of summer, there's nothing really better than going out and harvesting a fresh cucumber and biting into it and having that thirst quenching feeling. The last crop on this list of crops for every beginner gardener to grow are zucchini. These large bushy plants will produce abundant harvests throughout the season. Starting these seeds about 4 weeks before your last frost, transplanting into your garden shortly after your last frost. Make sure that you give zucchini plants enough space so that they can bush out and grow. Typically, I will plant our zucchinis about 3 feet apart, or 1 meter. This gives enough room for the roots to spread out and for the leaves to spread out, but it also gives me room to weed around until those plants cover the soil so that the weeds can't pop up. Once you start harvesting, I would recommend that you pick every day if you want smaller, more tender fruit, or every couple of days if you want something a little bit larger. But make sure that you don't leave your zucchini growing too long, or else you'll end up with monstrous fibrous fruits that aren't really good for eating anymore. There's only really one downside to growing zucchini, is that you are going to get to know your neighbors really well as you go over there knocking on their door trying to give zucchini away. They just produce so much food, you won't know what to do with it. Thank you for watching this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more and learn more about gardening and food security and health. By supporting this channel, by liking and subscribing, you aren't just supporting me, you are also helping the residents of the city of Kawartha Lakes. As a little bit of a reminder, I am on a mission to help anybody who asks for gardening help my assistance. All of the gardening assistance that I provide is completely free as long as residents are donating some of the produce to local community support agencies. So if you're in the city of Kawartha Lakes and you would like some help to start, or you'd like some help to maintain an already established garden, please reach out either through YouTube or through my Instagram, and I am happy to come out and help. Finally, before you leave, make sure to leave a comment down below of some of your favorite crops to grow, some crops that you think are easier for beginners to grow, or some that you're excited to try for the first time. Until the next video, I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you then.
Don't matter if you don't know. He'll push through all of your lows. Your petals may fall, you may wilt, but don't you know how strongly